Meet the team that doesn't just talk about impact, they ignite it. Jim Morris and producer Rachel.
Good morning. Happy Friday.
Good morning. Oh my God, we made it. We did it. Oh my gosh. Deep breaths, bud. Deep breaths.
Let's go. What a week. It's been an
I know.
amazing week inside the Impact Effect community. So many powerful conversations, so many opportunities to create positive change and to collaborate and elaborate on specific details and different concepts and pieces of information that we can share and we can receive. And wow, I feel like this week has just been, it's been really powerful for our members.
Well,
myself
and
included.
I was going to say, and for me included, because I catch myself putting into practice some of the things we started training on, like with Now Money, making like the 150 connections essentially that like before when we started, I would break out in hives, and now I'm like, no, I got this, which is so fascinating because I didn't think I'd ever be on this side of it. Right. And I think that happens all the time when like you're with low energy or you're feeling depressed, you're feeling down, you're feeling sad. You don't know that you can get to here. Right. And I feel like that with information, a lot of times we have so much information coming at us. And then especially when you're learning something new, because Jim's helping me with like marketing and funnels and sales and all these beautiful things that like, to me was overwhelming. Right. Where it's like, oh my God. When you have somebody in the community that's like, no, you've got this. Like I've been there when I didn't know, because you didn't know everything all at once from the beginning. Right. You had to learn things. And so it's fascinating when you really do start learning and you feel it like clicking in your head on how like energetically you move up that ladder. Whereas like even the thought of touch points and like reaching out to people, even if it's just for human connection and not for a sale, like made me break out into hives. Now I'm like, oh no, I got this. Like, oh no, we're fine. It's like this amazing energy shift. And I'm like so grateful like to the community for that.
It's funny you bring up the sales thing because, I think originally a lot of people come to me and say, I don't like sales. I suck at sales. I don't want to do sales. And my response has always been the same thing. Then don't do sales. Like you're attached to the outcome. You're attached to the vision of an invoice being paid when you're talking to someone. Like that's in your subconscious. Like you clearly can't, you're not looking at the person and you see an invoice floating around their head. Like that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the fact that like subconsciously you're thinking, okay, this conversation, this interaction, I need to win. I need to get what I need. And I'm only here to close a deal. And that limits the opportunity for magic to happen, because there's been so many people in my lifetime where I have met, engaged, shared, built a relationship, and that person 3, 4, 5 years later buys something from me. Right? So like, because it was never a buy this, 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 buy this. It was a, oh, hey, thinking about you. I know that you mentioned you lost a couple employees in your company recently. I just read this article and it was talking about, this happens often in this industry. Maybe this is an industry that is aligned with your industry and maybe you're experiencing the same thing. Then maybe 6 months later, I invite them to an event and they come and we have a great conversation. And then we catch up over coffee and then we comment on each other's social media. And I DM them like, dude, what you just posted was awesome. And then all of a sudden it gets to the point where something clicks or there's a need or there's an opportunity or there's a change. And that's the key word here. There's a change, because the state that I met you at and the state that you need my services could be drastically different from a time perspective, right? I've had people tell me when I was in real estate, I'm going to rent. My lease is coming up, but I'm going to rent for another year. Like 48 hours, call me later, like, yo, can you find me a house in the next 3 weeks? I don't want to rent anymore. Well, if I try to jam down selling down their throat, they would have got a bad energy, a bad vibe, and they never would have called me in 48 hours. I've also had the same conversation with someone around helping them grow their business and scaling it to the next level. They're like, no. They wanted to try the PDFs. They wanted to try the webinars, and there's nothing wrong with that. But usually in a webinar or a PDF, they're telling you what you need to do, and they're telling you why you need to do it. They're not showing you how to execute or how to do it. Like, that is the framework that is being taught to a lot of thought leaders, a lot of people that do webinars, is the why, what you should do, and the why, and then pay me to show you the how, right? So in a lot of those situations, in this gentleman, he, that was 6-7 months later that he reached out to me. He's like, hey, been doing a lot of studying, doing a lot of things, tried some things that didn't work. I'm ready. I'd love for you to work with me one-on-one. And I also had someone more recently join the community that way. We had a conversation during launch. They were fired up. Some things happened in the business. I stayed in touch. Hey, how's this? How's that project you're working on? And now they're in the community. And I think that's just me building a deep human connection and having faith that what I provide and what I'm doing, and I'm showing up. And yesterday we talked a ton about consistency, and I'm consistent, then the time will align. And I'm not walking out of those initial meetings with drained energy because I didn't get the outcome that I needed and wanted in that moment. The outcome for me is a relationship and acknowledgement that I exist and what I do exists, right? If I can start every conversation that way, of just learning and listening and letting someone pour into me and talk and tell me, and probing some questions here and there, and then having the opportunity to share what I do and my passion and the energy around it, I'm okay walking out of that meeting going, I don't know what's next. Because what's next could be, you love the Sounds baseball games here in Nashville, and I get free tickets in 3 months, and I bring you. And then you're like, oh, this dude's pretty cool. And well, now I'm more interested in community because some things have happened. And tell me about that community again.
I think that this is because of your real estate background, though. I think real estate agents and realtors, because they're so focused on connection and nurturing those connections, I think it comes easier to you guys. I think for those of us that have not had that like real estate training and understanding like our sphere of influence and how to continue that connection and like creating those touch points and nurturing, we don't understand that it's a process. Does that make sense? That sales is a process. It's not like, I'm selling to you, so you should buy it. You don't do that in real estate. You guys are literally trained to nurture. And I think so many people don't understand the nurturing part of human connection.
And I think too, like, nurture, is that a word that aligns with you? Like, when I first heard that term in business, I was like, I want to nurture people. I want to love on people. I want to be there to help them. And it doesn't necessarily mean it's my product or my service right now, every day we talk, right? Like, how can we just show up for people knowing and having faith that what we're doing consistently and building and developing is of worth? And it may be of worth to that person now. It may be worth to that person later. I will say this. I didn't understand this when I got in real estate, and I didn't get trained on this. What actually happened to me was I felt sleazy. I felt like I was selling. So I just said, I'm not going to sell. And knowing that down the road later, that real estate, people buy houses on average between or upgrade or downgrade or move 5 to 7 years. I didn't even know that. I just didn't like the grossness of constantly selling. And every interaction I've had with the real estate agent has been, are you interested in a house? Do you rent? Do you buy? Like, do you have kids? You're going to get married soon? Like, they're just looking to put you in a timeline to then hammer you.
It's that thirsty feeling, like they're thirsty. And it's like, I get it. You have to be hungry, right? Let the Les Brown speech about be hungry. It's fine to ask, but like, don't be thirsty. Be hungry. It's totally a different feeling.
And to that point, it's like, well, I want to disrupt, right? You know, if you know anything about Jim Morris, he likes to creatively disrupt and do things differently and enhance them. So like, I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to be the typical real estate agent. And I think that's what had a lot of success. And, you know, there's different times and periods and things that you need to act certain ways and evolve, and life changes. And I get all that. But like, at the end of the day, when I reached out to you, I didn't want you to be like, oh, it's Jim Morris He probably wants me to buy a house from him. And if I got that feeling, I've pivoted and changed, or I've addressed it. Like, hey, there's someone that I was like, hey man, like I didn't realize it, but like the last 3 conversations, I was inviting you to my events. And like that's not, I'm inviting you because I care about you and I think this could make sense. But like I don't want you to see Jim Morris and be like, oh, here's another link to an event. And like I fucked that up plenty of times, right? Because I'm just moving quick and it's like, oh, this would work for them. I think like they're in this stage of the business and this is what, and like this could be super helpful. But like at the end of the day, my last 3 text messages were links to come to an event and pay me money. That's kind of shitty. And I've fucked that up a lot in my life, but you've got to learn through that. And you've got to realize that like a check-in, hey, how are you? What's new? I just saw this on Facebook. Like that's building that deep connection in that relationship. And funny enough, whenever I do those things and we start having a great conversation and someone's like, dude, I haven't seen you in a couple months. Let's grab coffee. I go grab coffee and they're like, hey man, tell me about Impact Effect Community. I think I need to join. Right? But it's like, I wasn't going to that coffee for that, but yet they were. And the reason why they were going to that coffee was to get more information to join Impact Effect Community because I wasn't down their throat selling it the whole time. Like I want it to be people's idea and I want it to be people's level of alignment. And sometimes you need to give more information and answer questions. And I love that stuff. But like, if I can just show up as me and do it consistently, then you're seeing it, you're feeling it. And you're going to make the decision to come into the network, to come into the tribe, to come into the community when it makes the most sense for you. And will I still offer to invite that person to stuff? And yeah, but I need to do it in a way that's not, hey, here's a link, here's an event. It needs to be like, hey, John, I was thinking about you, man. And first and foremost, how are you? And I want to catch up with you, but I also got this thing coming up. And if it makes sense, great. If it doesn't and you can't make it, I still want to grab coffee with you soon, man. Like those coffees have been so powerful and impactful and not necessarily in a financial way. You know, like that person can refer me. I just had someone introduce me to someone who is going to get me on Forbes. I just had someone else come in my life who wants to interview me and do a documentary. And those were all people that introduced me to someone else. If I didn't take that meeting or if I went in there and tried to sell, they wouldn't have positioned me in front of someone else because they would have thought that I was going to sell them too. So that referral, that recommendation would have never came if I treated them like shit, knowing that why would you put Jim in front of someone else that I like, that I have a relationship with, if I feel that you're just going to sell them and do what you just did to me, that introduction, that referral will never happen. Ever happen.
And those referrals are huge. I just got potentially 2 jobs that I'm closing on. And it completely gets a 4.5-hour drive. So they're paying for my travel. And it'll be 2 back-to-back jobs. And it'll be like, it's perfect. I know. And it's because they watched the content that I was putting out from another client. And they were friends with that client and basically said, like, who did this? These are the videos. This is what I want. Because I do batch creation sessions where we literally, like, in 2 hours can batch create 25 videos. You just bring a change of clothes. We change the background. I create all the hooks for you. It's amazing. So imagine like content creation done for you. And then you just post or have your social media manager post. It's easy. But so
what does that
I had that referral.
What does that cost? I might need that.
I'll tell you later. Plus travel, Jim.
See,
plus
look
travel.
She's not trying to sell me, folks. And I'm like, when you come to Nashville, can we do a session?
Right, 2 hours, 25 videos. It's a month's worth of video in 2 hours, right? Imagine not having to think about what you have to post. But referrals are everything. And that's the thing. Like people are watching, even when you don't think they're watching. And so if you're just out for a sale, people know that. They feel that. They feel it. And just all we're asking you today is just sort of flip it to nurturing a relationship and making that human connection. We do it in the community. If you feel like I have no idea what they're talking about, I don't know how to do this, come join us in the community. We'll teach you. Trust me. And you learn just by being. And we curate trainings for what you need, for what each member needs. And by process of doing, other people realize, oh, wait, I need that too. So even if on the onboarding call, they didn't tell us it's what they needed, they realize, oh, wow, I needed that too.
Yeah.
And so the feedback's been great. And we just allow people, you can catch us live doing the training, or you can watch the replay. You can do things on your own time. Like no one's forcing you to like, you have to get this homework done or this done or that done before we do this mastermind. It's not like that at all. Like it's totally at your own pace, and you get out of it what you put it into it. And you get out of it what you put into it. And I think that's with everything. So, it's Friday.
Friday.
I know, I'm so excited.
Yeah, let me just leave you with this message before you go into the weekend. And before you start your lovely Friday. Wow, I'm skipping ahead. It's only like 6 a.m. Central right now. Let me give you this before your lovely Friday and your future weekend ahead. If you don't want to sell, don't sell. Do what gives you energy. Show up, love on people, ask a bunch of questions, ask questions that steer you towards the answers that you're looking to seek from people to see if there's alignment, and just drop the pressure. Take off the winter jacket on your shoulders, breathe, and go love on someone. Go, be interested in them, not try to be interesting. And if you don't want to do sales, then don't do sales. Do human connection. So have a great rest of your Friday, everybody. Happy May 9th. And I hope you have a wonderful weekend. We will see you live Monday morning.
Bye, everybody.